Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. First of all, thank you for 600 subscribers. I almost said 300, but that was last time. Seriously, that is absolutely insane. I remember last month I had 400 and now I'm almost like doubled pretty much. I am just absolutely blown away. Ever since that one post about me on Twitter went kind of like viral or whatever, I have been getting so many new people around here, and it's just been so great having everybody and having all these people interact with me. It's like, I never expected or could have thought that this would have happened to me and that this would have I'm blown away. I have no words, really. So thank you again, really, everybody new who's been coming here. And thank you for stopping by and entertaining my my craziness with all this stupid, weird things that I do. So anyways, I thought that because there's so many new people around that I might as well do a Q&A so that everybody can get to know me a little bit better. Because although this is the foslerferr channel, and you know, it's my channel, I do very rarely actually talk about me. And so I thought that I might as well answer some of your guys' burning questions because I am quite a bizarre person and there is a lot of questions that get asked about me because, I mean, after all, how can you not ask a question to somebody who owns all that stuff? The first couple of questions are questions that I get asked all the time by a bunch of people, so I couldn't quite attribute them to one specific person asking me them. They're just things that people ask me regularly. So the first question is, why do I like Perfect Dark so much? And that's a very good question. After all, I own 107 copies of the game. It's so tall it actually goes up to here on me now when I stack them up, so that's a very good question. There's a lot of assets to that question. I like the games technically, and I also like them like emotionally too. For starters, I really like the level design of the franchise's games, except for the Game Boy Color. That game was just kind of interesting. I like the level design. I really like the characters a lot. Jonathan's my favorite. I like all the small details that the story has, all the small details that the characters have. The lore dates back to 2000 BC. I have a 22-page essay written up about the story. But I really like the game technically, but emotionally, it's a game that means a lot to me because I started playing the game when I was 12. It was a big part of my childhood, really. Even if not the main thing I was interested in back then. I think I was mostly interested in art and drawing. But it is just something that has always meant a lot to me. Joanna is always a big inspiration for me. She's defying all odds, really. At the end of the day, Joanna Dark is somebody who was born and, you know, could have spent her whole life really just sulking and being miserable. She was born with a spinal defect, and sometimes she's in a lot of pain because of that. But she doesn't let herself be limited by what other people's expectations are of her. She doesn't get let down by what people say about her. She just is authentically Joanna Dark, and no matter what, she will always do what she believes in, and even if it means that she's gonna get more trouble. And that really inspired me, especially when I was younger, being somebody who didn't have a whole lot of confidence at all, and was kind of like the nerdy kid, like, you know, I was somebody who wore 2 shirts every day to school, and people didn't really think I was real funny or anything. I just was kind of little bit of a nerd, I guess. Seeing a girl who was young like me and had all these things going for her because of herself, because she put in the work and the time and the effort, it was really inspiring to me. And finally, the community has been just one of the best things in my life, really. I've met so many amazing people through the community, and half my collection is gifted to me through the community, so I really, from the bottom of my heart, I've really really appreciate it, so thank you. The second question is, what got me into the game in the first place? I started playing Perfect Dark 0 when I was 12 years old after I got Rare Replay on my Xbox One that I got for my 12th birthday. I originally was going to play through all the games start to finish, but I had gotten stuck in Grab by the Ghoulies and Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and the next game on the list, I believe, was Perfect Dark 0. And although I didn't really want to play the game at the time because Joanna looked kind of scary on the cover, I thought I'd give it a shot because it was, the next game, and I just absolutely fell in love immediately. I didn't play original. I don't think I played it for a year or so after that. I had struggles logging into Xbox Live, and so my progress was never saved on 0, and so it took me about a year to beat the game on Agent, which is kind of pathetic, but I was 12. What other games do I like besides Perfect Dark? Well, I like a couple other games besides 0 and besides Perfect Dark. I like Driver San Francisco, I like WWE 2K20 and 2K22, I like Minecraft, I like The Sims 4, I like Grab by the Ghoulies is definitely one of my favorites, maybe my second favorite besides the Perfect Dark franchise. Shave Throne 10 asks me if I plan on live streaming more often, and will I play more games than just Perfect Dark? I do hope to live stream more in 2024. I got some new equipment here, and I'm hoping to record more videos this year, maybe a couple times a month, 2, 3, 4 times a month, that'd be good. And live stream way more often because 2023 was really my slacking year. I mean, I moved 4 times. I went through a whole lot in 2023. So 2024, hopefully, settle down a little bit. And will I play more games than just Perfect Dark? I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to see me play more games than Perfect Dark? I had mentioned it in the community tab at some point, but I'm just curious to see what you guys think. I could always just play games and give it a, Perfect Dark kind of twist to it. But I don't know, it's up to you guys. Mio and Carnival ask, what is my most favorite and most weird thing in my collection? My most favorite right now, I'm gonna go with the demo disc here. It kind of changes what my favorite is because I really like a lot of this stuff in here. It's got its own standalone packaging, which I think is pretty cool. I actually made a video about this in the past, and it's its own unique thing. It's got its own story to it, really. If you don't already know the demo, you can purchase it for free on the Xbox Live Store, or, you could check out my video. The weirdest item in my collection, well, my weirdest copy of Perfect Dark 0 is this one. Yes, this is a real copy of Perfect Dark 0. On the inside it is, FIFA 16. But yeah, it's Perfect Dark. It's got a Perfect Dark disc in there. This is one that I purchased from my local store. Apparently they didn't have the cover art to it, so they improvised, and it's pretty great. But the weirdest item I have is probably this, the Dark Mission soundtrack. This is essentially a bunch of remixed songs from the original game. And honestly, I couldn't find much about it online. There is somebody who has a track list for it, but I've never seen the actual uploaded song, so maybe I'll upload those to Perfect Web 0 in the future when I finally get around to actually working on the original archive. I know it's been taking me forever to get to that, but I will eventually. Do Knight and the Scarecrow ask, how long have I been collecting and when did I start? I started collecting around 2021. I think I was 15? Originally, when it comes to copies, I just had started with, I think it was 2 of them that I'd picked up from my game store for maybe $2 in total. It was absolutely nothing. And soon it evolved into just 10. Mostly because what would end up happening is, I go into the store every week And I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a copy of Zero. It's funny. It's there and nobody else is going to buy it, so why not? And I would buy it. And then when it got to 10, it was just kind of like a funny thing, and my friends would start buying me copies of Zero, and then it got to like 20 something, and then I posted about it online, and people absolutely thought it was the funniest thing. And then people from online started sending me their copies, and then I started getting them on eBay for super cheap, and then eventually it evolved into 107, I think. And we're still counting because I will not stop anytime soon. People who are concerned about me hoarding all the copies or having every single copy of Zero in my collection, I can assure you and promise you that it will never happen. And I've always said this, but if you want a copy of Zero, a digital copy, a physical copy, I will gladly give it to you if the circumstances allow. I'm happy to provide that. I'm not trying to keep them all for myself as much as I'm entitled to do so, because it's my money. I can buy as many copies of Zero with it as I'd like. You know, if you would like a copy of Zero, please message me. And additionally, it would not be physically possible for me to consume every single copy of Zero because there are literally millions out there right now. Probably less because, you know, it's been a while and people throw copies of games out sometimes and they break and whatever. But if you go on eBay right now, they're about $2 each. So don't be worried about it. Besides, not many people are wanting to buy or play Perfect Dark Zero. I'm probably one of the sole consumers and purchasers of Perfect Dark Zero, so don't be worried. Nick and Ray ask, what is the hardest thing to find when it comes to collecting? That's a hard question. Generally, the things that I find the hardest to find are super oddly specific items, promotional things more specifically, like the calendar was very hard to find, the crab milk shirt was extremely hard to find. These lanyards were hard to find. I think there's one on each side. Yeah, those ones right there. Those were hard to find. Things like that, they tend to be pretty few and far between, and shockingly though, normally when I find them, they're not really for all that much, because it's a promotional item, they got it for free. Now, not many people are looking for a Perfect Dark Zero calendar or a Perfect Dark Zero lanyard, so, you know, they'll sell it to you for $3 or $4. Mark Lawson asks me, why do I think Perfect Dark Zero is so unliked compared to the first game? That's a very good question, and one that I'm going to answer, and probably it's going to be a little bit controversial. Keep in mind, I have 107 copies of this game, and when I go to bed at night, I wrap myself up in a Perfect Dark Zero blanket. So my opinion on this game, and my opinion about why people don't like this game, is definitely biased, and you should take everything I say with a massive grain of salt. There are a lot of reasons why people do not like Zero. One of them just may be that it's not people's personal preference, really. It's its own very unique thing. The story is very unique, the art style is very unique, and the characters are very complex, and the story is very complex. I often see people get it wrong, or just general misinformation leads them to believe that the game is something that it's not entirely, such as the fact that it's a prequel. A lot of people don't know that, and when you do know that, it kind of changes the entirety of the game. But on the flip side, another reason why people might not like this game so much is because of the fact that Microsoft did acquire Rare, and Perfect Dark Zero was one of the first games to be released after that. Unfortunately, when Microsoft acquired Rare, a lot of the team for Rare left, and things did change at Rare. I won't dispute that. It was different. Although most of the game was finished before Rare was acquired by Microsoft, people don't know that either, the game has a negative reception, in part, or in whole, really, as I think, due to that. People generally don't like it when their favorite game company gets acquired by somebody else. And if you were a huge fan of the original, I can understand why you wouldn't like Zero, because it's a different game for different people, set in a different time. And so sometimes when you go into Zero expecting Perfect Dark, you are disappointed, and I get that. It's not for everybody. It's for me, but it's not for everybody. And that's fine, really. Plague Dr. James, French Crun, and many more ask me, what do I hope for the new game, the new Perfect Dark game, and what are my thoughts on it? I actually have a lot of opinions on the new Perfect Dark game, and I'm also wearing one of the developer's shirts right now. It's pretty faded, I know, it's kind of hard to read, but it has the Perfect Dark logo and the Datadyne logo behind it, and much like how my shirt has faded, the progress and hope for the new Perfect Dark game has faded alongside. I say that because over the past couple of years since the game was announced in 2020, a lot of the developers have left the team, including the lead art director, which is very concerning. The company that is attached to the initiative, working alongside Crystal Dynamics, is in a lot of trouble right now. And so things are kind of at a standstill from what I've heard. That IGN article that was released was very alarming. Do I think that the game is going to be released anytime soon? If it is released, no, it's not going to be released in 2024, probably not even in 2025. I will probably be in my 20s when this game is released. What do I hope for in the new game? I hope Jonathan is in it. I hope that none of the main characters are dead. I would be devastated. It would hurt my heart. I hope that the game is not set in the same timeline. I have lore dating back to 2000 BC to keep track of, and quite honestly, I don't need any more lore to be thinking of every single day when I'm trying to keep track of the story. I hope that it's a first-person shooter. Personally, I don't like third-person shooters. Might have some third-person mechanics, that'd be cool, but first-person, please. I'd also like to see some Zero designs. I mean, that's obvious coming from me. Ultimately, I hope that the game, if it's released, is good. It represents the story well. It has a good storyline. It's not in the same universe, or, it's not in the same storyline. And I hope that it's well received, because we don't need another disaster. I really don't want to be dealing with more of that, because I feel sometimes like people don't like Zero and then they end up not liking me, and it can be a lot to deal with sometimes. Johnny Thunder asks, what was the first thing I collected? It's a good question. I will show you. This was the first thing that I collected. It is a Perfect Dark Zero polo shirt. I believe originally these were given out as a promotional item. I saw this when I was about 15, I think, and I absolutely thought it was the coolest thing on earth. It was like $15 on eBay, and I begged my mom to buy it for me, and she did. And I have two now, and I think they're still on eBay. They pop up quite a bit. But I love this thing. It's very comfortable. It's absolutely massive on me because it is like a large in men's, so not the best fit, but it's comfy, and I guess if I want to attend a formal event, I have an excuse to wear this. But yeah, this thing is very nice. I used to wear it a lot when I worked, because the dress code would normally be like a black polo shirt and Perfect Dark Zero. Anyways, not funny. Bumbles McFumbles asks me, if I had a different franchise to be into other than Perfect Dark, what would it be? Honestly, I think probably Grab by the Ghoulies. I think if I had never played Perfect Dark Zero, if I had never played Perfect Dark Zero, if I had never gotten stuck in Grab by the Ghoulies, then I would probably be the Grab by the Ghoulies girl. Unironically, I would have blonde hair and wear a striped sweater vest or striped sweater constantly, and I would have a bunch of Grab by the Ghoulies merch with a bunch of copies of Grab by the Ghoulies, And it would be very different. I'm imagining a whole nother universe where I go by the name Cooper, or Amber maybe, because there is a girl character in that game. And to end it, Julianos Reyes asks me if I have all the achievements in Perfect Dark Zero and if I play it online. I do not currently have all the achievements. I used to have almost all the achievements on my old account, which was just foslerferr, like my YouTube channel name. But I lost that account, and so I pretty much had to start fresh. I don't know if I think I have like 20 out of 50 of the achievements, which is not bad, but at the same time, you'd think I'd have all of them because I play the game so damn much, but I don't. I just mostly play the game on Agent and mess around in the combat simulator. So no, I do not, unfortunately, but I'm working towards it. And yes, I do play it online. I'm pretty much constantly on the game. So if you want to play with me, please add me. My gamer tag is foslerferr with 2 R's at the end of it. And, you know, just shoot me a message on Xbox Live or whatever. You know all my socials, they're in the description. But yeah, I'd love to play sometime, whoever's watching this. And I'm always happy if you're ready to have a very snarky and over-descriptive of the plot co-op partner. I'm your gal. Well, I think that's pretty much it. There are some questions I didn't get to in this video, but if you have another question for me, then please leave it in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for all the support I've been getting recently. It's been absolutely just crazy, and I really appreciate that all you guys do for me. I mean, not many people in their life get to wake up and go to bed to all these beautiful messages from people, and I just I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. So thank you. And if you're new here, I have other videos about Perfect Dark on my channel. It's all about Perfect Dark, really. If you like this, I guess give it a like, do all those YouTuber things that they tell you to do, like subscribe and whatever. But thank you, really. And I hope you have a perfectly dark day.